Ex-spoiled kids, what was your reality checks? When I mistreated someone I cared about and they actually followed through with cutting me out of their life. Father died and gave his inheritance to his 25 years old GF. When I discovered things like electricity and water come with monthly bills. Sometime when I was a teenager, I realized my experiences growing up was not like other kids. Some of my friends said I was rich and I honestly didn't see it at the time. I thought my parents' house was average, but it wasn't. Living in my own in one of the most expensive cities in the planet was a baptism by fire. You learn very quick where your dollar should go and where it shouldn't. My dad's diagnosed with debilitating disease and can no longer work. I am the second child who got everything he wanted. My sister was the one to compromise everything for me. I wanted a new phone, I got it. I wanted a new computer, I got that too. Basically everything I wanted I got it. While my sister was still using her old stuff. Now comes the part where at some point I realized this is wrong. When I go over memories of me getting the stuff I wanted, my sister's eyes pop up, and they look sad. Man, I ruined her childhood. I just want to roll into a ball and cry. Not for me, but for her. I was a horrible brother, we fought a lot and everything had to go my way. We are grown-ups now, and every now and then when I look at her I feel shame. She has a beautiful family and is doing financially light years better than me. I'm so happy that she's getting everything she wants, but I know I will never get rid of the shame of what a spoiled kid I was. When my mom suffered a total mental break that lasted about a year, and somewhere in the middle of it I realized I was treating my brother the same as my mom was treating all of us. I was so ashamed and broken that I seriously considered ending my life, but I knew my mom would likely do the same and I couldn't make my dad and brother lose so much even if we were combined, making their lives hell. It really made me address my anger issues, and though I then developed some self-harm problems, I started the process of becoming mentally healthy that day. I am so proud of how much work I put in and how well it has paid off. I probably wouldn't even recognize myself now, but I am blessed to be living an extremely low-stress life, and that is a huge help. My dad stopped paying for my bills when I was around 25, and although I was working, all my income was disposable. One day I guess he said enough is enough, and I suddenly realized that my wage was barely enough to live on, let alone go out for brunch, drinks, buy designer clothes, and all the rest. Whilst I am forever appreciative of how much he helped me and for how long he supported me, I wish he had pulled back earlier. I learnt lessons later than all my peers, and when all my friends were starting to come out of min-wage jobs and beginning real careers in their mid-20s, I was plunged into freshman poverty with ramen noodles and bus riding. £55 a month for a phone bill suddenly seemed luxurious, and don't get me started on my withdrawals from Uber. But I learned to stand on my own 2 feet and have promised to teach my kids these lessons much earlier. My father died. All I could think was no amount of crying will make him come back. Like when you hide from a kid and they can't find you and they start crying and you come out and tell them it's okay. That wasn't going to happen. Then I lost my dog about 2 months later. I had never experienced real loss. Went to boarding school at 10, shared a room and amp, 1 bathroom with 20 other girls and amp, realized no one was going to conform to my morning and amp, bedtime routines. Also, I was unpopular because I really was an odd little bird. Really was a smack in the mouth, both literally and amp, figuratively. To this day, I love my own space, but I get on really well with people, even when I have to fake it. Having a disabled child. I was an only child with a supportive dad and stay-at-home mom, and I had a great childhood with very few responsibilities. When my first child was diagnosed with multiple lifelong disabilities, I knew I had to grow up and put her first and be her advocate. It has made me a better person for sure. My boyfriend died. No matter what I did, I couldn't manipulate or beg for him back. No amount of my parents' money could bring him back. He was gone, and it was the first time in life I couldn't get what I really wanted. Made me value relationships way more than material items. Edit. Thank you everyone for your kind words. Just to add, this was over 10 years ago. I was 20 at the time. I found comfort in time, and his memory makes me smile now. I have a long-term boyfriend now, but will always hold a piece of him in my heart, and the lessons I've learned from that experience I still carry with me. As my daughter got older, I realized my financial illiteracy was a real hindrance in life, coupled with the fact my parents never instilled any sort of work ethic in me as a teenager. My daughter will be getting a part-time summer job when she turns 14 and will need to contribute a portion to her savings account. When she starts driving, she'll need to contribute to her insurance/gas costs.